What's up, YouTube? So, welcome back to Front Range Aquascapes. Right behind me, you'll see I have yet another nano tank, another cube. It's a 25 centimeter square, and as you can see, there's a bunch of plants in it already. I've got a bunch of other plants. I'm going to go ahead and move you around here so that you can see what I'm working with, and we'll get into it. We're going to do kind of an island composition, but I'll show you when we get there. Got a 25 centimeter cube. I've already got the white window film on it, like I always do. Here are some of the plants. We're going to be doing an epiphyte heavy tank in this. Most of the plants are going to be epiphytes. So, I've got some Bucephalanda brownie. I am not sponsored by Topfin. These were just the plants that I was able to get locally at PetSmart. I've got some Anubias congonesis. Yeah, sure. I've got some Anubias frazeri. And then I also have some cuttings of Anubias nana petite. I have some Java fern. And then I also have some scarlet temple and some Lobelia cardinalis that I'm going to put in as, there are going to be some stem plants, and those are going to be what I use. And then you see I've got a piece of wood that I had glued together for another tank, but I think I'm going to be able to use it in this one for, like I said, an island composition. Then I have some dragonstone that we're going to use. And then I also in here have a bag of used substrate. And I don't know if I'm going to use that or not, but I probably am, just to get some height. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to have to set you up a little bit differently again. And then we're going to get started on laying out the hardscape. Okay, so what we're going to do is I want to use this for height for the wood. And honestly, I think just right off the bat, I like that positioning. So now we need to come in with the dragon stones, because back here behind the wood is where I'm going to go ahead and put some stems. You know what? I think I may bring this out. About right there. And I'm going to use the rocks to, first of all, I'm going to glue the wood to it to help anchor the wood. But then I'm also going to use the rocks to keep the aqua soil back there. So let's see here. So I've got it where I pretty much want it. Like, I really like the way that that looks. So I'm going to go ahead and lock it in place, you know, the usual way, with cotton balls and super glue. Alright, now that I've got that set up, I'm going to go ahead and put some aqua soil in the back. Our aqua soil, and just like I wanted, I've got some good height back there. Now what I'm going to do is try to clean up all the errant aqua soil. And then for the front up here, I've got some sand that I'm going to add. So, but before I do that, I've got another couple of pieces of wood. Let's see if they add anything or if they take away. Alright, yeah, that is the hardscape. I am actually really happy with that. Alright, next up we're going to add some sand. But before we add sand, there is a little spot over here where aqua soil will be able to get out. So I'm just going to cut a piece of filter foam to go in there. There. And that will keep the aqua soil from coming down through there. There's probably going to be shrimp in this tank, which means that this is pointless. But I'm trying. Alright, and per usual, just got some Quikrete play sand here that I am going to go ahead and there we go. That's pretty much what the hardscape is going to look like. Now I'm going to spray it down and then we'll get ready and get started on planting. And that's going to suck. All right, it is now time for planting. And as I said, I've got just an absolute massive amount of plants that we're going to go ahead and put in this tank. I am going to start out because, as I said, this is going to be a mostly epiphyte heavy tank. So, down here at the very base where the wood meets the rock, I'm going to go in with some Java fern in a few places. So I think that's going to do it for the Java fern. Now we're going to go ahead and go in with some Anubias Nana Petite that I have. And with the Anubias Nana Petite, I actually think I'm just going to go in here along this line that's here and try to cover up the glue and wood, or the glue and cotton. So. Next up is the Anubias frisari, and this is a larger Anubias. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue this one back here. Yeah. Yeah, I quite like that right there. And now I have the Anubias congenensis, or however that's pronounced. And what we're going to do with it is I actually have two pieces of it. So I'm going to put one piece like right in here somehow. Yeah, this tank's gonna be something special. Now for the final epiphyte, we are going to be doing some Bucephalandra brownie. And for the boost, I'm just going to be coming in and doing things like that.
Alright, so we've gone ahead and got all of our epiphytes planted, and I've gone ahead and sprayed... Yeah. I've gone ahead and sprayed down the aqua soil to be damp. I've got some stem plants here, and what I've got is I've got some Rotala Vietnam Atra, some Scarlet Temple, and some Lobelia cardinalis. And normally in aquascaping, what you would do is whatever you do on one side, you would do on the other side. But I'm not going to do that. I want to add a little bit of drama and a little bit of wildness to this tank. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do reds and pinks on one side, and then I'm going to do the cardinalis on the other side. Alright, so we are all planted now, and next thing is let's go ahead and fill her up with some water. Alright, well, while that was filling, I'm sure you saw, I went ahead and got the filter ready. Alright, now I've got the filter ready. Okay, I don't know what the hell is going on with this little filter. Alright, so we've gone ahead and got the filter on. I don't know exactly what's wrong with it. It's surging for some reason. I'm going to let it run and see if it works itself out. It is just a cheap Chinese filter. But for the light, we are going with the same Sierra planted SR617 that I've been using. This one is, again, the 12-watt variant, just like I have on the tank right next to this one. But let's go ahead and get this set up and get it put on the tank so that we can see what all my hard work, if it paid off or not. Alright, and there we are. Just got done putting the light on, and there's a lot of sand and air bubbles floating around. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the light off, let it chill out overnight, and see what it looks like in the morning. I'll check back in with you guys tomorrow. Sean from the future here. So as I was editing this video, I realized that there was some footage that was corrupted, and unfortunately, that showed me stocking this tank and making a few other changes, such as the fact that I added some red root floaters, and this tank is stocked with some Blue Dream Neocardinas, as well as a Dario or Scarlet Batis. He doesn't come out very often unless he is eating, and I already fed him today. So, unfortunately, I doubt we'll get to see him right now, but he is in the video. But yeah, that is what happened with this tank. Like I said, I went ahead and stocked it with Blue Dream Neocardinas and a Scarlet Batis. Oh yeah, there was an issue with the filter in the last part of the video that I had. So what I did was I could not get that little cheap no-name filter to work. So what I ended up doing instead was I went ahead and replaced it with a Nycrew hang-on back filter, and that filter's been working just beautifully. But there you have it. I want to thank you guys for watching. Time for me to do my usual YouTuber shit. If you got any value out of this video, like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. And it has been a couple of months now since we set up this tank. And as you can see, all of the plants are growing in beautifully. Super Dario, my Dario is doing really, really well. I've been feeding him freshly hatched baby brine shrimp. He does eat frozen baby brine shrimp. And then there's finally enough micro creatures in the tank, and the shrimp are reproducing, so he's able to eat shrimplets and daphnia and stuff like that. So, but he is doing wonderful. I hope that the camera does him justice, because he's just absolutely gorgeous.